All right, welcome everybody. My name is Aaron Whittier. Thank you so much for being here on a Tuesday evening with us. Someone invited you here tonight, and they're probably excited for a number of different reasons. They might be excited because they're talking about these incredible devices and technology, or they may have told you that listen, you might be looking for something, and they might have told you there's an incredible opportunity here, kind of first to market. The company just got here to America recently, and there was really an incredible opportunity. But first, we're not going to talk about the opportunity. We're going to talk first about this technology in these devices here tonight. So I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to talk about two big challenges no one prepares us for. And that's proactive wellness, strategic timing, and real leverage. So first, we'll talk about what's happened in America. There might be some people on here from Australia, might be some people on here from Europe, even though it's in middle of the night for Europe. There might be some people on here, or you might see the recording. So we're going to talk really specifically about America tonight. America, we spend more on healthcare than any nation in history. So why are we still getting sicker? Well, trillions are spent yearly. Chronic illness is rising in our country, and daily prescriptions are increasing. And that's because we have a crisis here. 42% of American adults are obese. Physical inactivity is a problem right now, and Americans spend 9.5 hours a day sitting. That's why a lot of people say, you should walk 10,000 steps a day because we just don't walk enough, right? We're not active enough. And we age, that can create a lot of issues, with health. And there's a big problem right now with people struggling with chronic conditions, health conditions right now in our country. And it's not just our country. I know this is a problem globally, but the US, big pharma, they want to keep us sick, right? Because 70% of adults in the US take at least one prescription drug daily. Over the lifetime, the average American will ingest 50,000 pills. So why do we do that, right? And we still are never taught to make our body work better. They just want to prescribe and treat everything with prescriptions because there's a lot of money in that, right? The system makes money when people stay sick, not when we're optimized, not when we're healthy, right? We work off the reactive model in America here. We wait for symptoms to arise and they diagnose them and then they prescribe, right? So, you might be someone that's dealing with that. So we're going to talk tonight about really the global wellness industry. We're going to talk briefly about it. And, whether you know or not, you're going to know now because we're going to tell you the global wellness industry right now is experiencing massive growth. And a big reason is something we call biohacking, which includes PEMF. We're going to talk about that tonight, red light therapy and recovery tech. There's a major global shift right now in how people approach health. People want drug-free solutions. Their world is shifting towards prevention, not just treatment. And tech and health are merging. AI-guided wellness tools, at-home devices are replacing clinical visits, and PEMF is now gaining momentum. What's driving PEMF the most is the aging population, increased chronic conditions, demand for in-home therapy devices, and growing awareness of alternate therapies. So, we're going to talk about the proactive model tonight. We're going to talk about supporting the body daily, improve resilience, optimize and function. And that's where our company, Olylife, we're going to talk about lives. And I think you're going to be excited. It's the first time you're learning about this. You're going to see something that's pretty incredible. Let's talk quickly about our company. Olylife, there's advanced research and development. It's 3 years of research. The story is the founder of this company is from Singapore, and he went to Europe, and he was just struggling with a lot of health issues. And someone said, "Hey, you got to use PMF." So he used PMF, and this PMF really just cured him. So he thought to himself, "Hey, listen, can we create devices that are actually affordable and bring them to the world?" Because there's been PEMF devices. You guys may have heard of something called a Beamer mat. There are other PEMF devices that have been used for years, and we'll talk about that in a second. But all these devices weren't really affordable for the masses. So this gentleman wanted to create something that truly was remarkable, they patented the combination of frequencies and bring it to the world. And that's what's happened. This company is only 3.5 years old. They have thousands of global patents, European certifications. These devices are made with rare metals and advanced chips only found in Japan. And there's headquarters right now. Global headquarters is Singapore and Xiamen, China. Branch offices in Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Hong Kong. They're expanding rapidly right now in the United States, Europe, South Korea, Japan, Canada. I mean, Australia. Experiencing massive growth. Why? Well, because of these devices. And the company right now is doing 80 plus million per month in sales just in Asia alone. They've created 500 millionaires in just 3 years, just in Asia. That's got to knock your socks off just to hear that, right? They're shipping over to 180 countries right now. I mean, this company's flying, and we have all the certifications behind these devices. Like we talked about, patents globally. It's all approved here in the US, and scientific backing and global reach. So, what's neat about these devices? So, if you've tried these devices, chances are you felt something. Even the first time, you might have felt something the first time. Does everybody feel something the first time? No. But why is it different? A lot of people are asking, why is this, why are we seeing thousands of testimonials of people that have actually used other devices, that have actually been to wellness places and used $15,000 or $20,000 PMF devices, but they're getting better results with these devices and they're so much cheaper. Why is that? Well, technology is always changing. I know you guys always know that, right? So what's different about this company? What Olylife has done is they patented the unique combination of frequencies, bringing together PEMF, radio frequency, and terahertz energy. So the PEMF, which stands for pulsed electromagnetic field, and the radio frequencies are the therapeutic energies. Call them the healers. They heal the body. Look it up on ChatGPT. Look it up on AI. And the terahertz energy acts as the carrier, and that helps drive these true frequencies deeper into the body, approximately 1 to 5 centimeters into the body. And these mats, these other things don't do this. And that's why this company is flying. That's why just about everybody that uses these devices sees something pretty quickly. So the core technology, again, PMF and terahertz, what it does, I mean, you can see what it does there on the screen. Pulsed electromagnetic pulsed, I can't even say it. Pulsed electromagnetic field therapy was originally developed by NASA to support astronaut health in zero gravity environments. So if you look at these astronauts, when they went out to space, they came back, when they were out in space for a period of time, they can't even stand up. They have to get used to the gravity. So if you look at the evolution of PEMF technology, in the early 20th century, EMF, which is electromagnetic fields, were introduced through radio, modern tech, electricity, and they were growing awareness in the mid to late 20th century. In the 60s and 70s, that's when these scientists at NASA were exploring pulsed electromagnetic field therapy as a way to support cellular health and recovery. And in the 2000s, people like Shaquille O'Neal, were told by his, trainer, said, hey, listen, there's these devices that are really expensive, but you can't deny what this pulsed electromagnetic field therapy does for, repairing injuries and this and that. So he got on this PEMF technology, and he's on YouTube. You can look up on YouTube. He talks about what it did for his career. There were big wellness places and physical therapy places that bought these $15,000 to $20,000 PEMF technology devices, and people were going there for therapy. So really, it wasn't known to all of us. They really wanted to keep it a secret, right? Because if there were affordable devices and this technology really helps the body so much, then the word would get out and we wouldn't go to the doctors as much, right? As much. And the big pharma wouldn't make as much money, right? So they've been pushing it, trying to keep it secret long enough. But now, Olylife, with the innovation, they've made these devices affordable and even better. And we have actually wellness professionals that have these $15,000, $20,000 devices in their wellness studios. And they tried these devices and say these devices work better than these really expensive devices that thought they were the best. So it's really incredible. And I can't stress enough to look up this technology and see what it does, and then try these devices. So the science behind terahertz, so you can see what it does there. Again, activates cellular energy, improves blood flow. So many different things terahertz does as well. And here are our devices. Here's just a handful of our devices. Our Terra P90, that was the device that they did over $2 billion in sales. $2 billion in sales in 3 years in Asia. Think about that. $2 billion with that one device. Think about that. You think that works? That device works? I'd say so. They wouldn't do 2 billion in sales if that device wasn't incredible, right? We're going to go through a few of these devices here. Here's cutting edge additions, a shake and massager. Olyspring's coming, I believe, this fall. So let's talk about the P90 here. This device here, what it does. You put your feet on this device, supports healthy circulation, metabolic function, encourages natural energy flow and harmony, supports detox pathways and inner balance. Just look up on ChatGPT, what are the benefits of PEMF? You'll see what it does. It helps with circulation, inflammation. There's so many different things that this technology helps. And just talking about here, going further here, our P90 Plus, that's what everybody's getting. Listen, they improved this P90 and they made a P90 Plus, and everybody in America is getting this P90 Plus. Why? It has bigger foot pedals. Device is new and improved. It just works better. Has two attachments. Has a wand for skincare that people are saying that it's an instant facelift. I mean, estheticians, people in wellness spas are saying this wand works better than anything they've used. People are charging a lot of money just to do a 20-minute session on people's skin and their face. We also have a wand that comes with it, has red light therapy, EMS, TENS. You can do spot treatment while your feet are on it or off the device. So let's go through a couple more here. Let's actually, before we do that, let's show this video to you. This is pretty impactful. It's a woman that did a live blood analysis, took her blood under a microscope. See? Her blood cells are all clumped together, slow moving. Her blood just wasn't moving that quickly. Whoops. And here it is after a 20-minute session on our P90 Plus we just spoke about. Look at the blood flow. Look how much better the circulation is. So that's what our devices do. Absolutely incredible. I've been using this device now almost 5 months. And I had issues with circulation for quite some years, about 5 or 6 years. And this device my circulation, my legs feel incredible. They don't have any pain in my legs anymore. The global eye strain crisis, we all know we look at our screens way too long. Our children are exposed to screens, and prolonged exposure to EMS may alter biological rhythms. Overexposure to blue light can lead to digital eye fatigue. You know what? We have a device for that. Our Galaxy G1 Smart Eye Massager, designed to help reduce eye fatigue from screen time, reading, and daily stress. Use a gentle massage on your temples, heat technology. This device is my favorite device. It puts me to sleep. It relaxes me. It's helping people with all different ailments. Listen, we can't make medical claims. We have to be very careful of that. But the stories and the testimonials keep coming in with all these devices. It's absolutely incredible. And this here, our Shake and Massager, our newest and latest technology and device. Listen, this is a great conversation piece. Uses high frequency vibration, supports muscle engagement, helps with visceral fat, heat therapy, radio frequency, red light, dynamic massage, PEMF therapy as well. There's a lot of stories coming in where people actually are losing inches around their midsection. People turn it around. It might help with their lower back pain as well. This device is absolutely incredible. So we have a few different devices here to choose from, ladies and gentlemen. If someone invited you here tonight, I'm sure they're talking about these devices. My suggestion to you is try the device. If you haven't tried the device, if you're local with somebody that can, put your feet on the P90 Plus, or try the Shake and Massager, or try the Galaxy G1, I would encourage you to try one of these devices. But what I'm going to do right now is I want to actually stop the share, and I want to bring on a young woman here to do a testimonial. So I know we have Carla. Carla, are you able to unmute real quick? Try to unmute. See if you can unmute there. If not, if you can't unmute, oh, you can. Perfect. I'm going to spotlight you here. Would you please share your testimony for everybody?
Be happy to. Hi, everybody. Well, my story starts back in March, where Dee, who I hadn't heard from in about 10 years, reached out to me on Messenger, and she showed me a picture of the P90, and she asked me if I knew what that was. And I said, no, have no idea what that was. So then she just kind of led me down the path. Said it was PEMF, look it up. We went back and forth about 6 weeks, and she shared with me the blood video. And while that was happening, at the same time, I'm 68 years old, and I was beginning to feel like old. Like I play tennis, pickleball, I'm very active, love to walk my dog. It was beginning to be where I felt very stiff and robotic in my movements. I felt like the Tin Man. I'd be on the tennis court and I'd feel like the Tin Man, like I couldn't get to stuff. I just felt very stiff. And at the same time, my knees were starting to kill me all the time, to the point that when I would, at night, in the middle of the night, my knees would wake me up. So that was happening. So I wasn't getting good night's sleep. I'm feeling very stiff. I go to stand up in a restaurant, and you have to stand there for a minute, let the juices start flowing. So I felt like 100 years old. So Dee's telling me about this device, shows me the blood video. I'm feeling like 100 years old. So I'm like, all right. So without even trying it, I said, yep, I'll buy it. And Dee was very patient. She took me down this path. She kept answering my questions, reassuring me. So I got the device, began to use it after about, well, on the first day. When I got off of it, I just felt better. I felt different. And then after a week of being very faithful and doing the device, I was flying around that tennis court. I felt so good. I felt so loose and fluid. And my knees, I would use the massager on my knees when I would sit on the device. My knees did not hurt at all. And so now I'm sleeping through the night because my knees are not waking me up. And energy through the roof. So I'm like, okay, all right. This is amazing. I need to know more about this. Well, now I also work with a naturopath out of Indiana, Shipshewana, Indiana. He's Amish. So I put in a message into him. I called him twice. He's very busy, doesn't answer. He has a beautiful, thriving practice. So I said, Kevin, this is Carla. I want to ask you what you think about PEMF. Well, he didn't answer the phone. So about a week went by and he hadn't returned my phone call. And I thought, he doesn't like PMF. Either that or it's because he's Amish and he doesn't like electricity. So finally he called me back and he said, Carla, this is Kevin. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. I was on vacation, just playing catch up with my messages. You were asking about PEMF. Before I could say anything, he said, I absolutely 100% love PEMF for the body. Everybody should be doing it every single day. And I'm like jumping up and down. He doesn't see me, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exciting. And then he says, and I kid you not, he says, it's too bad people can't have this in their own home. And I just went, oh my gosh, Kevin, that is why I'm calling you. I have a device. And he said, well, we tried that in the practice. We had a machine, but it was very large and very expensive. So we took it out. And I said, that's why I'm calling you. We have a portable, affordable device. And I told him the price, and he went, really? Tell me more. So now, for the past, 6 weeks, this 6 weeks ago, I've been using the device. I feel fantastic. I bought another one to put in my salon so I could put people's feet on it. I've been kind of reaching out to Kevin. Hey, I really want to come show you these devices, blah, blah, blah. He just got back with me tonight, and I'm going next Friday to show him these devices. So I'm so excited. So the other part of my story I want to tell you is about the shaken device. So I've been doing PMF, the device, for about 6 weeks. I'm moving better. I feel fantastic. I started using the shaken belt about 3 weeks ago, very faithful. I do it first thing in the morning while I'm getting ready in the morning. Then I'd get on my device. I got on the scale like 4 days ago. I have dropped 10 pounds and I have done nothing else different except I'm moving a little better and I'm using my devices. So
Wow.
that is my testimony. I will shout it from the mountaintops. This things work and everybody needs to know about them and everybody needs to be doing them. So that's my story.
Wow.
I know,
Wow,
it's
Carla.
fantastic. I know, seriously.
Wow. I love it. I love it. That's the first time I've heard your testimonial. Thank you so
Yes, I
much for sharing
love it.
that.
I would share it with anybody.
I know. I appreciate that. Thank you so
Sure,
much.
sure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm glad you guys were able to hear that tonight. Let's get back So let's get back and share the rest of this real quick. So let's talk really quick. Listen, after hearing that, and what I would encourage you to do is, if you haven't joined our testimonial pages, we have one on Telegram, we have one on Facebook. And just go and read if you're seeing this for the first time. You want to read testimonials like Carla's. There's hundreds and hundreds of testimonials of people just using different devices with different ailments and getting incredible results. So, if you know anybody that has, maybe some ailments that you'd love to help with, or if you have ailments, listen, try these devices. Find the Olylife device that fits your needs and get one. Okay. Just get one. Trust me. It's funny, Carl, you said about this practitioner and everything. The last few days, I think we've three or four chiropractors have joined our team here, and they're all saying the same thing. They're all like, "Oh my gosh, can't believe this price point." Because same thing. They all believe in PMF. They have these really expensive devices, but they can't really get them to their clients. So these devices are finally affordable, and chiropractors are seeing it. So for those of you that want to take advantage of being here and maybe sharing it with a chiropractor or a practitioner so they can share it with their people. Let's talk about the business here. Let's talk about the opportunity of being able to do that. Okay. Because anyone that's watching this that is not part of Olylife yet, you can be part of Olylife. And I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very simple. And you're not going to believe how simple it is. So, three reasons first why this business is a home run. The product's demonstratable. It literally is demonstratable. You put your feet in this device or use a device, you're going to feel it working. Are you going to see a difference the first day? Possibly. Okay. Some people sleep better the first time. Some people feel less pain the first time. Sometimes it takes people longer. It took me about 8 to 10 days to start feeling different. But product's demonstratable. You can feel it working. And it's not a huge lifestyle change. So let's just talk about business really quick. Talk about the key to business success and seizing the right moment. Listen, there's been many opportunities in our lifetime, but we've kind of missed the boat, right? Let's just talk about Bitcoin, right? How many guys heard about Bitcoin when it was under $100? I did, right? Probably a lot of us did, right? And thought that's not going to work, right? Now look at it. So many people became multi millionaires and some billionaires because they saw the vision of that, right? So, or just look at any kind of, industry that we missed out on, right? If you could have invested in Nike before it was big, right? You wouldn't be on this Zoom tonight, right? So opportunities are always around us. It's whether or not we can seize the right moment and see it and get in front of it before it takes off. And that's kind of where we sit now. You look at, three phases of a business. They all go through three phases. The startup phase, that's where most companies fail. The growth phase and the stability phase. Let's just talk about cell phones, right? When cell phones came out, it came out, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I can get a little phone, right? Back then they weren't so little, right? But you can get a cell phone. And think about all the people that got into that business. They made a lot of money when everybody was getting a cell phone, right? There's a lot of money to be made at that time. And now everybody's got a cell phone. Can you still make money in that cell phone business? Yeah, because people still get new cell phones, but you can't make big money anymore, right? Unless somebody invented a new one. So you look at where we are right now, the startup phase, the company blew the doors off this thing in the first 3 years. It's no longer a startup. It's a startup in America, but they've already proved it, which is nice. So we're right where that red circle is there. We're ready for explosive growth. And listen, there is some momentum gaining already, but we're brand new. And eventually it's gonna stabilize. This when everybody's gonna have one of these devices in their home. Can you still make money? Sure. If you get started, way down the road, yeah, you can still make money because people will buy new devices. But the big money where we sit right now, if you're looking to make a lot of money, not everybody's looking to make a lot of money, but if you're looking to capitalize on that, listen, timing matters more than talent every day. Timing matters more than talent. So how do you get started? You get a device. That's it. There's no startup cost. The entry, you buy $1,000 device, can be used by the whole family. It's global ready. And if you've been part of businesses like this, the home-based business arena, whatever you want to call it, direct sales, there's so many different names. Normally, you have to keep ordering products every month called an auto ship to stay qualified, to get paid, or you might have to have a number of customers to satisfy that as well. There's no auto ship here. You can buy a device and never spend another dime, and you're fully qualified in this company forever. There's daily payout. In addition to that, You can come in different ways, right? People are getting started with 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, all the way up to $6,000 in products. Why would somebody get 6,000? Well, maybe Carla's friend, that maybe owns a business. Maybe he wants to buy product to have and give away to his clients, and they can buy it off of him. Maybe they want to do trade shows and have a number of products. People get started where they fit in. Let's just talk really quickly about different ways you can earn with the company. And believe me, if you've seen businesses like this, you've never seen a compensation plan quite like this. And listen, people say that all the time. I'm going to prove that in a second. I'm not going to talk about all 7 ways to earn, but first and foremost, just understand there's no joining fee. The joining fee is getting a device. That's it. No subscription, no money to keep spending every month. You're active forever with one-time purchase. Listen, you can share this with anybody around the world. We're international. And there's also passive potential as well. So let's talk about the structure here. For those of you guys that don't know what a binary compensation plan is, binary just means two. It means you build two teams here. So if you're not familiar with this, that's what you're going to do when you go out and share a device with somebody. They're going to join your team even as a customer. They don't have to sell anything if they don't want to. They don't have to share it with anybody, but they're going to go in your structure. And the first device you actually share with somebody, it's going to go on your left side. And listen, you don't need to know this right off the bat. The person that invited you on can share this with you, but it's not that important to understand this whole structure right now. But what is important is the timing of when you come in. Because this right here, I've never seen, and I guarantee you've never seen if you've seen this industry as long as I have for 30 years or more. So what's neat about this is when you get started, you take the next spot in the tree, the binary tree. It builds all the way down, and the next spot in the tree, that's where you take, okay? If you get started for $1,000 device, you can actually earn 3 times $1,000 off the person that's directly above you. So the person that came in right before you can earn 5% of their income up to 3 times what you purchased the first time. If you buy $1,000, you make up to $3,000 off the person above you. Think about that. It's always the team below you, never above you. Pretty incredible. If you come in for $1,500 for P90 Plus, you can make $4,500. If you come in for $2,000, maybe the P90 Plus and the goggles, you can make up to $6,000 off the person above you. That's where it's capped. Okay. Pretty neat. I'm sure you would agree. Listen, there's people that are just getting the devices just because they want the therapy and they want the results. They're not sharing it with anybody, but they're making 3 times what they purchased just because they're placed directly below somebody that's building the business. Pretty incredible. Also, oops, let me go back here. You can also make 10% of the point value off every device. So let's say Carla brought me in. Carla shared the device with me. And let's say I bought $1,000 device. The $1,000 device has 750 PV. It's 75% of the cost. And she'd make 10% of that 750. She makes $75 when I bought a $1,000 device. It's called a performance bonus. A lot of us call it a fast start bonus. And this here, when I saw this knocked my socks off here. This tier bonus. Now, if you understand a binary compensation plan, you'll get this right off the bat. If you don't, it's very simple. So when you get started and you share a device with somebody, let's say they go into A1, and then the next person you share the device with, they go on your right side into B1. If both A1 and B1 purchase a $1,000 device, you're going to earn a $375 tier bonus. Pretty incredible, right? And then what happens is, let's say A1, who you brought in, brings in A2. You don't know A2, and B1 brings in B2. You don't know B2 either, but you still earn a $375 bonus because it completes another tier. So every level, first left, first right, on every level to infinity, meaning it'll never stop, you're going to get at least a $375 tier bonus if someone comes in for $1,000. It gets better, actually, because a lot of people are coming in for $2,000 when they get started. They want the P90 Plus and the goggles, such a great combination. If both A and B on left and right come in for $2,000, you make a $750 tier bonus. And if both people, let's say you got 2 chiropractors, both A and B are chiropractors or practitioners or people that want to do trade shows, and they both get $6,000 worth of devices, you're going to make $2,250 on that tier. All right, back now. Everybody can see that?
Yeah.
All right, so you brought in Six people, you earned six times 150 is $900 in performance bonuses, and you earned seven tier bonuses of 750, equaling $5,250, equaling a total of over $6,000. But you only brought in six people. I mean, where can you find that in any business? I'm looking at people on here right now on this Zoom. There are people on this Zoom that earned over $6,000 in their first 30 days. Just sharing devices with people, maybe putting a Facebook post, right, of their feet on the device. I mean, absolutely incredible. There's people on this Zoom that have made a lot of money in 3 or 4 months just because this technology and how simple this is. What also happens is when you do this, no matter when you do this, that's going to actually give you 10,500 on each leg. Maybe you have $1,500 PV for each $2,000 order times seven people on each side equals 10,500 on the left side and the right side. What that means is you hit your first leadership rank of M1. Let me go back over here of M1. And what you do at M1, when you have 10,000 on each side, you get one share of the global pool. The company shares 5% of the company's annual revenue, shared amongst all the M1s all the way to M7s, and you just keep hitting those ranks. And by the way, your volume never goes away. Absolutely incredible that when you're attaining these ranks, it just keeps compounding on each other. So that's what's so great about this company. I've been part of companies. I know a lot of you are still part of companies that you work really hard all month. You have this really big close, end of the month close. And then the first day of the month, your volume goes to zero and you start over, right? Here, it doesn't do that. Your volume never goes away, which is really neat. So the last slide here, let's talk about how simple this business is. And that's really what I want you guys to take away tonight, besides how great this technology is and how incredible this opportunity is, the financial opportunity is. I want you to understand how simple this business is. When I called Tuan and Van, I said, hey, how are you doing this? How are you building so quickly? What's the system? I don't want to reinvent the wheel. He said, Aaron, I'm going to send you a picture of the P90 Plus because I didn't have my device yet. He said, all you're going to do is text this picture to people or messenger people, however you want. Just send the picture to somebody and say, Jan, have you seen this device yet? He goes, 99.9% of people say, no, what is it? And then you say it's a PEMF device. And a lot of people don't know what that is and say, hey, do you use any kind of AI? If you do, or Google it, Google what are the benefits of PEMF. And when they do that, it's all positive. And then from there, we might send that 30-second blood analysis video. When they see that, they're like, whoa, that's incredible. And then we might invite them to one of our testimonial pages. They just read all these testimonials. And usually from there, they go, okay, I want the device. The testimonials will share these devices for you. We also have short videos about PMF, about the different devices, also a short video about the compensation plan. I've had more people that just saw the PMF therapy and watched a couple more videos saying, I want to do this. When I wasn't even talking about the opportunity, but they saw the timing of it and they saw what PMF does and they saw the testimonials. So I encourage you to do some research on PMF. And also, I encourage you to get started right away because when we talk about the next spot in the binary, people are joining every day, taking those next spots. And the people that join today, okay, are going to have the people that join tomorrow on their team. And that's what's super important. Listen, I don't want to fear loss you, but I'm fear lossing you, okay? It's true. It's growing that fast. So like we talked about, timing matters more than talent. Okay, the timing of this, listen, this thing is a rocket ship right now, and we are taking off. So you just got to get aboard the rocket ship, okay? And you'll go in the same direction. Get started today. Follow the simple system. Get a device. Get your own story. And then share it with all the people that don't know about it yet. Share it with all the practitioners, the chiropractors, the wellness studios. Share it with all these people so they can share with their people as well. So with that, get back to the person invited you on tonight to share the recording with you. Get started. Grab you a spot in the tree. Get a device. And let's go have some fun. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. Take care and have a great evening. Bye-bye, everybody.